Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Adam McDowell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Chicago and parkbench.com/North Center. I'm here today with Jaclyn Simpson of Jaclyn Simpson Photography. Hi, Jaclyn. Thank
Hi.
you for joining me today. Let's jump right in to your photography work. Uh, where did you get started shooting, and what's your experience with doing photography?
Yeah. So I actually started out, I got a camera when I was like 10 years old and just fell in love with photography and have just been that person who basically always has a camera with me ever since I was a little kid. And kind of thought that I may go into photography for a while and then just didn't really go that route until years later. And then ended up probably about 12 years ago or so, met some really good friends here in Chicago who are photographers and just started talking to them, and saying, oh, this is something I've always thought about doing. And they really encouraged me to start shooting some weddings and really found that I loved it as a career. And so was working another job, and the economy basically just collapsed and I got laid off, and it was right around the time I was kind of deciding whether or not I wanted to go full-time with photography, and so it really just sort of pushed me into it. And yeah, and here I am 10 years later.
So what's it like? I mean, every day you get to go to work doing this thing that you've loved doing since you were 10 years old.
Yeah, it feels, I mean, it definitely has its challenges and it's definitely hard at times, but there are a lot of times where I just stop and think like, this is pretty awesome. This is pretty fun. I didn't anticipate I'd be doing this necessarily, and it's just been like a really awesome surprise. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's
So
fun.
you got your start doing weddings, and now you've moved into doing sort of corporate photo shoots. You've done some work with like the Lyric Opera you were telling me about, but because we're all in quarantine right now, dealing with this COVID-19 situation, tell us about the new project you're launching with families who social distancing portraits, right?
Yeah, no, so I definitely, when all of this happened, I, started very slowly and then progressively quicker getting emails saying all of these events that I was planning on for the next several months are being canceled. And so it was just, trying to figure out what to do, kind of scrambling for things to do, and really just assumed I'd probably just be doing a lot of back end work during this time, and more, maybe redesigning my website or things like that. And then saw a friend who is in Central Illinois had posted that she was doing these curbside portraits for like, I think $20 or $25 or something like that, and was just hoping to do a few of them. And I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. And for me, like when all of this had happened, I definitely had that feeling of like, oh no, I'm losing all my work. This is terrible. Like, what's gonna happen? And then, and I was mentioning to you earlier, I have a lot of friends who have small businesses, and was just kind of seeing like, oh, there are a lot of people in a lot harder place than me. They have, storefronts and they have employees, and this is just incredibly hard and trying. And so when I had decided that I would maybe just post something, I actually just posted it on like a Lincoln Square neighborhood group just to see if I'd get like a few people who wanted to do it. I was like, well, I'd like to be able to like donate money to some friends of mine, but I'm not really like making any money to do that. So I thought it would be maybe a good way, like if I'm able to go out and photograph, there is still an option for me to go out and photograph and do it safely, because I can do it outside and I can do it using a long lens and from pretty far away. So I never really have to touch anybody. I don't have to be close to anyone. So because I'm able to do that, I was like, well, I'd like to be able to help the people and friends of mine who can't do that. They're just like in a situation that doesn't allow for really like maybe any flexibility in that area.
Yeah.
So that's where I decided to do, I would take $25 and then whoever I photograph then donates the additional $25 to just any really business or organization that's lost money during this time. And it started out with just like a couple, and I think maybe I got on just the right, like people posted on the right Facebook groups or something, and it's kind of just blown up. And so I've done quite a few, mostly in the Lincoln Square neighborhood, but a handful in other, mostly North Side neighborhoods, but a few like Hyde Park and a few South Side neighborhoods as well. It's just been fun. It's been good. I'm really liking it. It's hopefully an opportunity to bring a little bit of happiness and joy during possibly darker times. And I was mentioning to you earlier, like even for me, it's been really good. It's just like this like little bright spot in the midst of like, okay, like this feels crazy and chaotic, but there's joy here too. And
yeah, I know. I think my wife heard about you in the Lincoln Square Moms group, and that's where she reached out to you through. And we did it. It was a lot of fun. It was fast. It was easy. If I remember right, you buzzed our buzzer. We came downstairs, brought our daughter, walked across the street to the park, and like you said, at least 6 feet apart the whole time. Keeping safe social distances. And then you took some photos, and we just had fun being a family together, and then it was done, and we got the pictures a couple days later, and we had a reason to go out to eat to support a local business.
Awesome.
The photos are great. We love them. We've now shared them with friends and family, and they all love them. So
good.
Definitely recommend anyone. I mean, you don't have to even be a family, right? You could shoot it.
Not everyone is a family. I've done some couples. I've done some single people. I've done just kids. I've done I actually did a couple with their pets, and then I made them put it was 2 cats. I made them put just the cats in the window. So technically I photographed just pets too.
Yeah, it's this interesting thing that we've run into during quarantine is people are now like seeking out that social interaction. Like we've met neighbors that we've probably walked by day after day. I mean, you're one of our neighbors even, and we've never met. And now we know each other, and we see each other and get to wave hi to more people. It's one of the silver linings of this is that I think it's bonding neighborhoods together a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always
Yeah. I definitely have run into or seen, walking around the neighborhood, a lot of people that I've already photographed. And I'm like, oh, now I know all these neighbors, which is kind of funny to think I didn't know this many of my neighbors before. But, I think the way we are in life now, we're like just running and going all over the place. And there's something, there's something about sticking close to home that's, that's kind of comforting and fun. And
I think it's putting a face to the names that you see on Facebook in neighborhood groups. So, the groups do so much to build a sense of community, but also not meeting people, not seeing people face to face. They're just someone behind a computer screen. And now we get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
So if someone wants to see your work, where can they find you on social media and websites and things like that?
So Instagram is a really great place. I'm at Jaclyn Simpson, and it's JACLYNSIMPSON. And then I have 2 different websites. One is going to be a little bit more of like the wedding and family, and that's just jaclynsimpson.com. And then a little more of my corporate commercial type work and branding work is going to be on jaclynsimpsonphotography.com.
Okay. And if someone wants to book one of these photo sessions with you, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Probably the best way is to reach out via email, and it's Jaclyn. It's just Jaclyn at jaclynsimpson.com.
Okay.
Instagram too. I'll be able to respond to that pretty easily.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for the photographs.
Of course. Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. I'm Adam McDowell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Chicago, your path to home, and parkbench.com/North Center. If you have a business you want to see me interview, let me know who it is, and I'll be happy to get in touch with them. Thank you.